everyone, it's Maria here from Pebbley Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome and thank you all so much for watching. Today I'm going to be showing you a very basic one layer card using some Whisper White cardstock, and I've just cut it in half and then I've scored it in half and burnished that score line already, and I'll be using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. This stamp set is one that's going to become available on the 1st of June, and this also bundles with a die set, and if you buy them together you save 10%, or you can buy them separately, it's up to you. So I'll be using this gorgeous stamp set. I'm using this looks like a leaf or a flower, I'm not sure, you can interpret it either way. I think to me it looks more so like a leaf, so I'll be using that plus the sentiment just for you. So we'll get started on this, and it's going to involve some masking. So it's a masked background stamp and it's just one layer card, and I'll be using the gorgeous new in colours that are available from the 1st of June, from 1st of June 2018 till 2020, and it's Call Me Clover, Blueberry Bushel, Lovely Lipstick, Grapefruit Grove and Pineapple Punch. So we'll be using all these colours today. So I'll just grab my grid, and I'll put my card base right on here, and I'm going to do some masking. So I'm going to use some painter's tape. So I'll just line up the tape where I would like it. So I'll just line this up on my grid just to give it some, because I want it pretty precise. I shot the video beforehand and I completely stuffed it up. Like really badly. It wasn't even, so I want it to be a nice even like line, because it is masking involved here. Oops. So what I'll do there is place the mask there, and I'll just get some more tape. I didn't do it long enough, so I could line it up, and there. And then I'm going to grab a piece of paper here, and then I'm going to mask it. There, all the way down to there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this off. Okay, so I've just used the grid as to line it up, and now I'm going to place it on here. Just lightly put this on the back, and that too. And I'm going to start sponging. So the first colour I'm going to use is my Pineapple Punch. So these are the new ink pads, and the way we're going to open them is we just flip the lid and just push in, and that's how easy it is. So I'll grab my sponge. So what I've done is I've used a sponge cut up into pieces, and I've just put a little bulldog clip just to help me hold it, and now I'm just going to sponge. Sorry, it makes a lot of noise. I'm shaking the table, so I'm very sorry about that. So I'll just give it a nice even sponge, just a little bit more colour, a little bit more intense, and just work it up a little bit. And then I will grab my Grapefruit Grove going to just get rid of the too much colour and then go in there. And just work it up. Just a bit more of the orange. Just make it a little bit more intense. Okay, then I'm going to grab my lovely lipstick. This is a very, very intense colour. Put that over there for now. Just work off a lot of it. And then I'll go in from here. Work it in there. Oh. Kind of stuck on the table there a little bit, but just keep working it in there. Okay, the next colour I'm going to grab is my Blueberry Bushel. This is a very intense blue, so just ink it up, work it off. Sorry about the noise. And I'll just work it in there now. Try and smooth it out as much as you can. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Call Me Clover. These are very intense colours, but if you sponge off a little, they blend in really nice. So I'm just going to kind of make the colours meet a little bit. And kind of let it run into each other. And then I'm going to grab my lovely lipstick and just work it in with the Blueberry Bushel, and it'll give a nice purple kind of effect as well. So let the colours run into each other a little bit. Then I'm just going to grab my Grapefruit Grove and I'll work that in too. Okay. Then I'll grab my Pineapple Punch sponge without inking it anymore, and I will just work that in with the Grapefruit Grove. And just a little bit here, just to give it a bit of a brightness. And just work it all over actually, and just give it a bit of, smooth out the colours a little bit and brighten them up a little. And I think that looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some heat embossing. So I'm just going to grab my embossing buddy, and I'm going to then get my Versamark ink pad, and I'm going to ink up that leaf. And just stamp it randomly all over. Okay, now we'll see how that's turned out. I'm going to get some white embossing powder. Okay. Oh, that's going to look really pretty. Doesn't that look nice already? Nice. It looks almost tropical. I love that. I think that looks wonderful. I really love it. Just give this a good flick. There's a bit there that just went over. Let's put a bit more powder. And a little bit, oops, a little bit more there. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is off camera I am going to heat emboss that and I'll be back. I've just finished heat embossing, so now I'm going to reveal the masking. So I'm taking that off. Oops, took it off a bit too fast there. Oh, that looks great already, doesn't it? I love this. That looks great, except I stuffed it up there. So, what I might do is make it come to my advantage. So I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit because I've directly embossed and used that. Let me think now. Actually, what I might do is cut this down, then I'm going to trim it off and we'll put it on a card base. I think, yeah, I'm going to put it on a thick Whisper White card base. And I've got one already here, just in case. I thought that might happen. So I've got a thick Whisper White card base there, so I'm going to cut that off. And then what I'm going to do is just trim off just a tad, just a little bit. And trim off, let me see, a little bit from up here. And then I'm going to put this on top of that, and I think that would look pretty amazing. And what I'll do is I'm going to stamp the sentiment just for you down the bottom here. And so I'm just going to grab my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad, ink the stamp just for you. And I'll just line that up somehow. I'll get my grid actually so I can better stamp it. So I'll just line it up, and I will do that right there. And that's the close-up of it. Just imagine that that was completely straight. So I really love how the ink colours really blend well together when they're sponged. It just looks like a nice, beautiful effect. I really love that. So I'll just grab my card base, and I'm going to bring in some fast fuse. But I don't like the way that ink pad, just a second. I just switched it over. Much better, much smoother. Okay. Just line that up a bit better because I don't think that did very well. Just score it, burnish it a little better. Okay. So now I'll just pop that over here, and I'll just grab my fast fuse and I'll just put that on there. And I forgot to bring it around, I think. Yeah, I did. Silly me. So I'll just pop that on here. Now, I attempted this card earlier and I didn't do a great job of it, so this has now worked out fantastic, so I love that. And I did do a strip. Where is it? I did do a strip and it turned out really pretty too. There we go, that's one I did earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down, and I'm just going to stick it down on the side there. So I'll just grab my trimmer and I'll just trim that down to 1 inch. Make sure it's nice and straight at the 1 inch mark. I'll do it this way. Okay, so that is beautiful. I love that. And I'm going to, as you can see, I'd stamped it earlier and it didn't turn out great, so I'm just going to use that on the inside as a strip. And I'll put it on that side, why not? So nothing goes to waste. So I'll just cover that bit up and make it have a nice even border from the top and the bottom there. And I think that that turned out actually quite good in the end. Nothing ever goes to waste. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's card, and that's the inside. This is on thick Whisper White card base, and that was just done on regular Whisper White. So I hope you like it. Fantastic stamp set. This is just a different way of using this, so it's not the traditional browns and the greens. You can go crazy with different colours, like try a rainbow almost. This turned out excellent. I really love it. And in fact, upon looking at it, I wanted to get some more pink into there. Just put it there. And I think that turned out actually really nice. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Thank you so much for coming past. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you like what I've done and you subscribe today. And for those of you who don't have a demonstrator in Australia and you'd like to order from me, I would appreciate your business very much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.